Hello everybody, welcome to yet another video. I am Paige Libbert. I am one of the consumer technology specialists here at Mid-Continent Public Library, and today we are going to talk about Canva, or specifically designing awesomely with Canva. So today's general topics: what is Canva, signing up for it, and then kind of how to use it. And so what you're going to need, you'll need a computer or a mobile device. I'll be working from a computer today, but there is a mobile app and you can do pretty much everything that we're going to talk about today with that mobile app. If you use it on a phone, obviously it's going to be probably a lot smaller screen, so maybe not as easy to edit some of the stuff that you work with, but you do have options to do that. You will need an internet connection to run either the website or the app. This can be whatever internet connection. It can be Wi-Fi, it can be wired, whatever you need. Mobile data works as well. And then I have added money on here. It is optional. Canva is largely free. There's a ton of free stuff and content that you can use. They do have some paid services. They have subscription plans that'll give you access to some kind of premier stuff. They also have some paid group plans that are meant for like businesses and that sort of thing. They also have print services. So if you need to get something printed, like a shirt or a photo album or something, they do have those as well. And those are all paid services. But if you just want to design like an invitation or a small document, you can do that pretty much for free and still end up with something really cool looking. So first things first, kind of what is Canva? Canva is a design website, I guess. It is a place where you can go and create all kinds of sort of paper documents or images or things for social media. It's just a place to create kind of cool looking designs to use for whatever really you need to use them for. It is a website and app. You can log in clearly with a variety of things. So I was going to show you real quickly just kind of the account creation. So I'm going to click down here on sign up. You can see that you can sign up with Google, with Facebook, or sign up with an email. So if you are logged into your Google account or your Facebook account, you can just click that button and it goes a little bit faster. If you want to just do with email, you just do your kind of standard stuff, your name, your email address, and you create a password. And then from there, that's pretty much it. You are started, you do your own thing. I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I log in with Google. So give that a second to log me in. And so here is the Canva homepage. It is not very shocking, I guess. You have all your different spots. You can search right here for specific templates mostly. So if you know that you're wanting to maybe design a birthday invitation, or maybe you want to create an infographic or a poster, you can search for that right there. You can also come up here to templates, and it'll give you an idea of some of the templates that are available that you can use. So they've got marketing, so they've got posters, flyers, infographics, there's invitations, cards, resumes, planners, there's invoices, there's all kinds of stuff to choose from. Up here on the top also there's features. So this will show you some of the stuff that they have available. So they have all kinds of free photos, lots of backgrounds, nature, animals. So if you want to look at photos, they have icons. Right here is the print product. So if you do want to create like brochures or a printed t-shirt or something like that, that's where you can find some of this information, as well as costs. And then there are things for apps that you can create, and things that you can kind of merge together. So if you need to put like a YouTube link or a video in something, you can do that. And then there's the Explore section to kind of show you some unique things. And a really cool section that is kind of newer in the last few years. When I first got started with Canva, the Learn section was not very robust. Now they have all kinds of things. They're quick little, almost blog posts, kind of helping you get started using Canva. So I'm going to go ahead and open that one up so you can see what it looks like. So there are videos that you can look at. So there's also just the helpful hints video. There are also kind of written things. So if you want to go in and, designing with Canva. So there's more videos to watch. Sometimes there's written things. Looks like they've pretty much transitioned over to a video setup. But you can go and look at all of these things to kind of get some ideas for your designs and kind of learn a little bit more about getting started. They do have a blog. So there is a blog over here on design. So if you want to just look at the design blog, you can see kind of some of the new posts that have come out recently just to get some ideas and get started and maybe learn some more about graphic design if you are like me and know zero about it. And then over here, plans. So this is kind of when I said that there are options for paid and unpaid. So the free plan is what most people use. Small teams and individuals primarily use the free plan. I have never paid for anything on Canva, and I've used it for a couple of different jobs and a lot of personal stuff. There is a pro one. This is mostly for that individuals and small teams. Again, it's a paid account, but it gets you access to a few more unique templates or some of the designs that they have available. The enterprise is going to be for your large businesses. Education, so teachers, librarians, and such, a lot of times can request an education account with Canva, and if you qualify, you can get a free or discounted, basically pro account, which gives you access to a little bit more, a few more resources, and the same thing goes for nonprofits. So it's really cool, but just some things to consider. I'm going to head back to the Canva homepage. So over here on the right hand side, I did want to point out, so as you design things, Canva will keep them, keep track of them, so that you can always go back and either reprint or resave a design if you were to lose something. You can also go back in and modify old designs, which is really, really nice. So if you've decided, you know what, I like this thing, but I want to change the color palette and use it again, you can do that. You can share, kind of like you would with like Google Docs or Google Sheets. You can share designs back and forth with other Canva users, which is nice. You can create a brand kit. This one is a little bit harder to do on a free account, but works better with the enterprise and the pro accounts. But you can kind of create set colors that are always used or set fonts, or maybe like an icon that is always used, that kind of thing. You can create a team. You can set up folders if you'd like to organize the designs that is saved. You can do that, and you can also check your trash. So if you accidentally delete something that you want to keep, it doesn't immediately delete. It goes into your trash. So you are not toast. There's always going to be a way to get back to it. All right, so we're ready to create a design. And I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can create designs. Up here in this top corner, there is just a create a design. And if you click on that, it brings up some of the suggested ones. So these are all templates. So maybe you can kind of see what's here. There's calendars, postcards, announcements. Keep going. There's a recipe card, rack cards. So there's all kinds of templates to choose from. And you can also choose custom dimensions. For today, I think I am going to go with an Instagram post. So it's going to come up with about the general size dimensions of an Instagram post, which is what you see here in kind of the middle right of the screen, just that blank canvas. And over on the left, it actually gives you some ideas for options that you could use. So maybe you want to just kind of point and click. You don't want to do all the design elements for it. You don't necessarily have to. They have all kinds of kind of suggested, created designs already in there for you. And if you hover over them, so I'm going to keep scrolling. I'm not a huge fan of all of these. See if I can find one I like. So it's basically autumn, so I'm going to scroll through, find one I like. Kind of like that one. But it's not free. So we'll go back to this first one. I liked it too. The happy autumn, everyone. So if you hover over it, you can see that there's this little bit in the corner that kind of tells you, but if you hover over the one next to it, you can see on the bottom right-hand corner of that image, it says free. If it doesn't say free, it is probably not a free image. You probably either need a pro account or it'll cost like $1. A lot of times it will tell you once you've used it how much it's going to cost, but you can learn a little bit more about it using that. But I'm just going to use this one because I know it's free. If I click on that one, it immediately populates it into the screen, which is cool. And then from there, you can actually move all the, because all the individual elements in here are individual elements. You can move everything around. So if you were like, you know what, I want this leaf to be a little bit further down or a little bit closer in. I want to see more of the leaf. You can move it around and kind of make it something you like a little bit better. And then if you want, maybe you want that inside circle to be a different color, you can change that. Or maybe you want to change the text in here. So maybe you want to be Friendsgiving. So you can do Friendsgiving 2020 Can't wait to see you. So you can do something like that. This has... So you could do something like that, and cool, you're done. No actual design required. It's all free to use. If I wanted to keep this, I have my options up here in the top right. I can download it, I can share the link, I can present it. I can do a present and record, which is new, something they're testing. I can also share it to a Facebook page or Twitter. There's all kinds of other options. Typically, you can just download it, and then it will give you suggested like file types. So you can do a PNG, which is a high quality image. You can do a standard JPEG, which is just a smaller file size. You can do PDFs, PDF prints. You can do a PowerPoint document. You can even do a video because you can do some animations or GIFs. GIFs, I refuse, it's GIF. So you can do some short clips if you do an animated image as well. So that's something really cool that you can try out. For now, I'm not going to download this one, but I just wanted to show you that. Something else to think about at the very top, you can see that the title of this is now called Friendsgiving 2020. It usually pulls either the name of the design. So if this design, if I click on that 3 buttons, you can see the name of this one's illustrated Thanksgiving greeting Instagram post. That is what that will usually default to if there's not text visible. But a lot of times it will just change to whatever the first text it sees. And you can always change it. So if you're like, I just don't want to change this, I want to just do 2020. I wanted it to be 2020 Friendsgiving. So you can change that up and then just click away and it will save for you. So if I want to save the changes, I can just go to save. Usually takes it a second to save in. So you can see up here on the right, the little corners are all changes are saved. It does do some auto saving. If you notice that it's not, you can always go in and just do that file save like I just did. So if you want to do that, you can do show rulers, which is kind of nice. So if you want to see kind of where you're at, you can do a show rulers. You can also do the show guides. So we'll take off the rulers to show the guidelines. This one does not have a lot of visible guidelines in it, which is a bummer. But you can show the margins, any print bleed, you can do that. So it's kind of nice. You can get a little bit more guidance if you need it. You can also make a copy. So if you're like, I like this one, but I want to change the color scheme up, you can make a copy of it and then just change your colors or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back to the home page because I want to show you a couple other little things. So down here towards the bottom of the page below your big search bar are some of the recommended templates and design options. So you can just hit this and scroll through and see if there's something you want to use. It'll do the same thing. So if I click on worksheet, it's going to pull up the general 8.5 by 11. You can see that 8.5 by 11 inches. And it'll be a blank page, but there'll be a whole bunch of worksheet style suggestions over on the left. Same thing with any of these. And as you hover over them, it will tell you kind of about the size and shape of it. So sometimes it's going to be in inches, sometimes it'll be centimeters, and sometimes it'll be pixels. So like for an email header, they're saying 600 by 200 pixels. For the worksheet, 8.5 by 11 inches. So you can kind of get a guess about what sizes are. The next one down is your design. So you can see there's my Friendsgiving one that I just created. It's currently generating the image. And you can see some of the other things that I've played with in the past. So you can go in here and play with those. So if I wanted to go in and edit my Fun Tech Tools image, it was a little thumbnail that I was trying to create. I could go in there and play with it and change up how it looks to be more of what I want it to be. If I wanted to change the color scheme, or maybe I want to change the image in the background, I could do any of that. And then as I scroll down the page, it just brings up some like suggested and popular style looking designs that you can use. So if I want to do a specific fall, like a flyer, or maybe I want to create a logo, there's some of the animated social media posts. So you can see what those look like. And they also do presentations. So if you are getting ready to give a PowerPoint presentation or a Google Slides presentation, you can create your own background for that or your own slides for that, and then quite literally just plug them into the PowerPoint presentation on a blank slide, which is really, really neat. And now that I'm looking at that, I might actually steal that one for an upcoming video of ours because I like it. It's cute. So just some more ideas that are here. All right, so I'm going to scroll back up somewhat slowly. I don't want to make you guys dizzy. So in this little top right corner when I could create a design, there's a custom dimensions option. There's also one right here at the end of this kind of list of templates and choices to choose from. So I'm going to click on that one, and it gives me the choice to do the width and height, and I can do by pixels, inches, millimeters, or centimeters. So if you want to create a teeny, teeny, tiny design, you can. I'm going to do pixels, 1920 by 1080. If I remember right, that is basically landscape TV. I used to have to do these for a previous spot, so they had to be ready to go on a player TV, and it had to be in this size, so 1920 by 1080. But even then, so I've created my own design size. It gives me an untitled design, but even then over here on left, I still have choices. It still gives you some kind of template or some style suggestions that you could throw in there and put in there if you wanted to. And I think it's really cool that I could do that. I'm going to skip this for right now because I want you guys to be able to see like some of the fun stuff that you can do. So I'm going to start out over here on the far left. I have my list of options and things to choose from. So it starts with templates. That's what all this is. But then there's uploads and photos. So uploads, I can actually upload my own photos if I want to be able to use within the design. Any photos that I've already used. Well, actually, no, these are going to be the photos that they have available. The same thing, as I hover over them, you can see if it says free in that bottom right-hand corner. I can search for things over here, so if I want to look for something specific, I can. If I go to elements, that's going to be shapes, lines, kind of clip art looking things, frames for pictures, stickers, charts, grids, graphs. Looks like they're pulling in some kind of relevant kind of clip art looking images. So you can do that. You can pull any of these in. Same idea. If you hover over them, they will say if they're free. With some of these, you can change the colors. Some of them you can't. It just is hit and miss if you get to kind of edit the colors and things for it or not. But they have all kinds of different things for you to choose from. These are fun. I like the monoline elements. They're kind of cool. They're good for logo-y looking things. I'm going to come into text. So they give you 3 sizes of text. You can kind of play with the text size as well once you've picked it, but they kind of start you out with heading, subheading, and body at kind of average sizes. And then you have fonts to choose from. So you can do all kinds of things. So if I click on thank you, it's actually going to generate this thank you. But I can change the wording. So it does not have to be thank you. It can just say whatever I need it to say. And then I'm going to trash because I don't want it. So delete the group and make it go away. So you can kind of pick out some fonts from there. Or maybe I just want to add a heading. So it pops it in there as a text box that just says add a heading. And then over here on the top of the page is where I can start to pick out different fonts. And you can tell if it's one that you have access to with a free account. If it's not free or if it's part of a pro account, it'll have a little crown next to it. But most of their fonts are available for free, or many of them are. Well, they've added a lot more. So you can kind of see what they look like. They have quite a few options. I kind of like that one. That was kind of cool. So, plague. Good Lord, I can't type today. There we go. So playing with fonts. So you can do that. If I wanted to change the colors, I can come up here. The A gives me an option to change the colors. So I can do, if I wanted pink, I could do pink. If I click away, voila, it's pink. If I want to change the size, that's where I can come in here. I can pick the font size. I can pick if it's centered. Some of them will let you do bold and underlined. You can kind of adjust the letter height and sizes. You can do effects. So if I wanted to add a shadow or make it kind of glitchy looking, I could do that. There's the underline. I can do uppercase everything. If I need to put a link there, I can. I can also change over here. I can change the position on the page. So if it needs to be, it's like the top of the text box, the bottom of the text box, the right or the left, that's going to be the alignment of your text. And then I can make it more or less transparent. So right now it's 100% not transparent, so 100% opaque. But as I kind of pull that down, I can make it more transparent. So I can do 37. You can see it's a lot lighter. If I had something behind it, that color from behind it would show up a lot more. So, and then if you change your mind completely, so I've just clicked on it to select it, I can just click delete and it will poof away for me. So, okay, I didn't want that after all. Over here, there's music. So if you want to add some music, you can do that. Same with the videos. They do have some in there. Same idea as everything else. As you hover over it in that bottom right-hand corner, you can see if it's going to be free or not. And then finally, the one I want to point out is the backgrounds. These can be a lot of fun, but they can also be kind of a pain to work with, depending on what you want to do. They have solid colors, all kinds. If you want to just do a plain solid color background, you can. But they also have template backgrounds, so maybe like the kind of cool, I don't know, I'm just going to call those the Instagram lights. It just seems like an Instagram post to me for whatever reason. But they have all kinds of options. And again, you have your little free button to tell you if it's going to be a free one or not. See, I'll pick one of these just for funsies. Maybe. That one's obnoxious. I like it. So you can do something like that and leave it. You can do effects. So if you want to kind of change up the effects on it, you can. You can do filters. So if you want to make it a little bit more retro looking. So yeah, ooh, I like that. You can do that. You can change the intensity on some of these to be more or less. You can adjust it. So if you want to mess the colors and the saturation, get really into it, you can. You can crop them off. So if you want maybe part of that to not have the background on it, you can do that if you want to. And then flip. So if I wanted to kind of change its direction, so maybe I want it to go that way instead, I can. So just some fun little things. You can also do the transparency with this as well. So I can make it more or less transparent. I'm going to leave that for now so we can kind of play with some other things. The folders will take you into things that you've purchased. So if you've already purchased an image or an icon or something, that's where that's going to go. Or if you've liked something, you can also create some folders, but that looks like it is a pro option. And then down here on the More button, so there's some styles, there's charts that you can choose from, and then there's all the app integrations. So there's all kinds of app integrations that are fairly new. But you can add some more stuff in there. So a lot of their pictures come from Pexels and Pixabay. So if you add those app integrations, you can actually go in and just when they're doing the searching, pull in photos from those places. So I'm going to come back up here to text. Actually, I'm going to do elements. Pick you. Come on. There we go. So you can see it's not real visible on there, but part of that is my color choice. Pick something a little bit more bold. You know, I want to make that background a little bit more transparent. So now I'm just going to play with the design and make stuff kind of stand out a little bit more. So, okay, I like that better. You can make that bigger because it's kind of a square shape. So if I like, okay, I don't like that square shape, I can just delete it and find one that I like better. Oops, didn't mean to click that. So I'm going to do see all from the monoline elements. So if you see all, that's when you can kind of come in here and look at all the different ones that they have. These are not going to be very bold, so they're probably not going to stand out on that background that I chose. But I just like them. They're cool looking. So I'm going to try this one, this little diamond shape. It's gonna let me here. I can flip it so I can make it. Nope. There we go. If I want to kind of turn it sideways so it's 90 degrees, I'd like it to be wide, not tall. I want to change its color, so I'm going to go back to that kind of dark periwinkle color. Move it around on the screen. So you can see the guides pop up to let me know, like, okay, it's centered vertically. Now I need to center it horizontally. And so when I get that cross, I know that it's right in the middle of the screen. But I need to make it a little bit bigger maybe. And so I can do that again to get my guides. Well, maybe I want some text inside that. So I'm going to come down here to a font combination. Good vibes. I can shrink that down so it fits a little bit better. Oops. Undo. Undo is up in the top corner. So right here where I just clicked, so if you accidentally move something you did not mean to move, you can fix your boo-boos. So sometimes it's easier, I think, to move things. Whatever's going to be in the back first, and then whatever's going to go in the front, I put over it. But you can move stuff forward and backwards. So if you need to move something kind of in front of something else, you can. But see, I can just be done with that. And maybe not the greatest looking design in the world, but there is a design. You can see that I've played with something. I'm going to come over here to File. You can see that all changes were saved, so it saved as I was going. But I can come down here and do my download option. That's going to pop everything up, so it's suggesting a PNG. I'm just going to do the JPEG. I want something small. If you do the Pro account, you can do some more changing with the sizes if you want to. But I can just click download. It tells you it's preparing your design. It usually gives you a cute little design quote of some description. Gives you some suggestions, so you can try the freebie version of it if you would like to. And then after that, it just pops up your design wherever it is saved, whatever your computer's default is. And then even though I've downloaded it and saved it, I can actually already go back and play with it some more if I want to. Again, if I like this and I want to just make a copy to change the colors out, I can. All kinds of options. And also, last thing I wanted to kind of talk about is if I wanted to add pages. So if I wanted to add another page and then create a design for that one, I can. And then also up here, if I like, okay, I don't want that page, never mind, I lied, I can click the trash can button. That deletes it. I can add a page up here. I can duplicate this page. So if I want two of them, but I want this one to be the same, I can do that as well. If I want to add notes, I can do that. I can duplicate this page. I can delete this page. So you have all kinds of options on here to kind of tinker with and play with. Mine is set right now to 33% zoom, but you can zoom in even closer. So if you want to just get everything exactly where you want it, you can zoom in and get real close, or zoom out and see what it's going to look like. So that is kind of Canva in a nutshell. I hope you guys get an idea of what's going on with it and take some time to go play with it. It's one of those things on the computer that's really hard to break because it's obviously a website. So you can definitely play with it a lot more than you might be able to play with some other things, and just go create some cool looking designs. Play with it until you find an aesthetic that you like. I clearly like goofy colors and black and white stripes, polka dots. Those are my things. But it's a fun place to kind of go learn and tinker, and you can make some really cool things that you don't have to just go buy at Target. You can create your own designs and then print them out at home, or take the file to FedEx or something to go have it printed. So I encourage you to come and play with this when you get a chance, and see what you can create. And with that, I just want to say thank you for joining us again. And please come back and join us every Wednesday and Friday at 1 o'clock on the MCPL 360 Facebook page. We have videos premiering at those times. And starting in November of 2020, we are actually going to be adding another video. So you can check us out on Tuesdays at 2. So it'll be kind of like our tech time Tuesdays at 2 for a third video. So join us for those. And then if you'd like to rewatch this video or catch any of our older videos, you can follow us, or I guess subscribe to us on the MCPL Mo YouTube channel. We do have a playlist called the MCPL Consumer Technology Resources. And that playlist holds every single one of our videos. And if you ever want to check us out there, please do. Thank you for joining us, and stay safe. Have a good week.